We finally reached the terminus. Now, let's take a light train on transfer 2. Wait, what? Who left the bus here? Welcome to Kamo Station. I'm Akatsu, a high school student from Shanghai. Now we're at a small stop on the Kansai Main Line. The Kansai Main Line runs from Nagoya to Namba, covering about 175 kilometers in total. But the story is simple. The section from Namba to Kamo is nicknamed the Yamadoji by JR West, and they use the line code Q. When JR West refers to the Kansai line, it usually means the section from Kamo to Kameyama, coded V. And for Kameyama, heading east, the line enters JR Central Territory. Still called the Kansai line there, with the code CJ. Kamo is where two completely different rails meet. To the east, trains run every few minutes. The line is electrified, commuter-focused, and served by modern EMUs like the 221 series. To the east, everything changes. The overhead wires disappear. The railway becomes a single-track diesel line through mountains and villages. Our 221 series cannot continue any further. So when I head east, I have to transfer to the tiny train, the Kiha 120. It's just 15.8 meters long. And outside, it looks more like a bus than a train. It's hard to believe it's on the main line. As we get on board, the interior is surprisingly simple. Long bench-style seats in the front, a few box seats in the rear. That's it. Nothing fancy, just enough for people who still rely on this railway every day. We leave soon after boarding. The diesel engine starts, and we're off. On this section, trains run about once per hour. Most passengers connect from the faster Yamadoji Kaizoku. So even though this is the main line, it really feels like a rural branch line. The section between Kamo and Tsuge is only about 35 kilometers long, but the journey takes almost 1 hour. Its average speed isn't much different from a rural bus. Fortunately, the scenery is much better. You feel the Kizu River at first, then the line steadily enters mountains and countryside. Forests, rivers, and scenery that seems barely changed for decades. It feels very quiet. Inside the train, it's actually more comfortable than those. The seats are soft, and there's even a restaurant on board. Since the whole trip takes around 85 minutes, that's definitely something we'll appreciate. As we continue, one thing becomes clear. The stations are huge compared to the train. Platforms are extremely long, but we only use a small part of them. Some stations even have multiple tracks for express services to overtake local ones. Everything seems oversized for a line with so few trains. So why was it built like this? Because this line wasn't also rural. When it was first built in the late 19th century, the Kansai Main Line was a major east-west corridor. Express services, sleeper trains, they all right here. It used to connect major cities directly. But things changed over time. The Tokaido Shinkansen changed everything. Long-distance traffic moved away. The towns along the line were still small. Passenger numbers kept dropping. Eventually, this became a quiet rural railway. When we reached the gas station, the contrast is even clear. It's a junction with Kusatsu line, but it feels more like a rural bus stop than a railway exchange. Few people around, and loudly sound is the diesel engine of a Kiha 120 preparing to leave again. Standing here, it's hard to imagine this quiet place was once part of a major national railway corridor. Today, only large platforms and empty tracks remain, remind us of a busier past. The Kansai Main Line is still officially a main line, but in reality, it feels like history has moved on.